I've recently done a couple of videos about the negative entity attachment perspective, what it wants from you, what its motivations are. These have gone fairly well, so we'd like to continue this series, but instead let's talk about other perspectives. And in this video, we're going to talk about the survival mindset. So let's get started. The survival mindset. You've heard this before. This is the reptile mind or the monkey mind. What we're talking about here is the survival motivation. When we think about the most primitive life forms, which are single-celled or multi-celled organisms, we know that fear is an available emotion to these very simple organisms. We know this because single-celled organisms will propel themselves away from dangerous chemicals that are introduced in a lab. So if that's the case, at the most basic life on this planet, that fear is a huge emotional part of that existence, we know it's the first emotion. It's the one that we started with. So if you think about the survival mindset is all about fear, fearing whatever could happen next. All terrestrial emotions actually come from survival. So if we look at disappointment, if you were disappointed in yourself, that means that you made some sort of decision that didn't result in the positivity that you were hoping for. That positivity could have meant that you had more food or more water, or you could have helped the tribe that you were living in. And if you were disappointed in yourself, then it is your way of punishing yourself, essentially, for not providing that to the tribe or providing that for yourself. And so your survival could be in jeopardy. Anger. If you are angry at yourself or someone else in your tribe, that probably means they did something to wrong you or to wrong the tribe. Maybe they did something that they keep doing over and over again that ends up hurting the chances of the tribe's ability to survive. Of course, anger would be a display that you would show them. They would learn the lesson, and then they wouldn't make that mistake again, which would preserve the life of the tribe or the life of the group. You can break down every single emotion that we have on this planet back to survival. That even includes the positive emotions. So when we look at our survival-based mindset, that survival perspective, we look at absolutely everything as, this could kill me. When we're in that sort of mindset, then we are also at the fear-based mindset because we look at it and say, that could kill me, I need to get away from it. I'm going to run the opposite direction. We could see this about absolutely anything because if you think about it, we receive a feedback system that's telling us whether this was good or this was bad. We receive feedback in the form of pain, whether it be physical, because you could touch something that's hot, or it's emotional, where you feel shame or you feel disappointment or anger over something that you have done or someone else has done. Again, it's all about survival. So the survival mindset then is making decisions that are based on external stimuli. Also, when we think about making decisions based on external stimuli, then we are very much in the mindset of minute to minute, I've got to live through the day. I've got to live through the night. I've got to live. When we're in this mindset, we are at a different psychological place. We are not in a calm, peaceful place. We are not able to make decisions with lots of thought. We usually make knee-jerk reactions. The other problem here is that the mind is set up for quick decision making. We want to run from the thing that's going to hurt us or that's going to kill us. When we're in this mindset, we are also in a problem-solving mindset. This is, oh no, we've got this problem right here. We've got to fix it right freaking now because otherwise we're going to die. In the event of a 3D problem, you would say, oh, there's water on the roof, on the ceiling. Maybe the roof is leaking. I better go up on the roof and see if I can figure out the problem. 3D mind is going. 3D mind observes the roof. Oh, look, there's a hole, or there's a part where the flashing came off the chimney, whatever. So now I know how to solve the problem. The 3D mind did great. It was fantastic. It solved the problem through the external world. That's exactly what the mind is for. So now, when we're in the survival mindset about everything, then we try to use the same methods to solve the problems. Well, let's say your problem is spiritual based. Maybe you have some sort of spiritual attachment, whether it be a negative entity or a curse, an implant, whatever it is. Now you use the 3D mind to try to solve that problem. Oh, okay, so these are my symptoms. What do I need to do? I'm going to go online and I'm going to look it up, or I'm going to go to a practitioner and see if they can help me. Okay, well, we already know that when you do that, now you are relying on the external world to solve your internal problems. So again, you're using that survival-based 3D mindset to try to solve problems that the external world is not very equipped to help you with. There are people out there that will attempt to help you remove whatever that attachment is, but generally what we find is when you ask somebody else to remove it, it doesn't stay removed for very long. And that's because there's more internal work that has to be done. So the survival mindset does not do a very good job of helping you determine and figure out and solve the problems at a spiritual level. So what happens? This problem-solving mind says, well, that didn't work. Well, now what do I do? Well, that didn't work. Well, now what do I do? Why is this happening to me? What is the purpose of this? Maybe if I could figure out what type of entity it is or what type of implant it is, maybe then I'd be able to solve it. And we go into these mind thoughts that are constant pounding, and often they're repeated over and over. So now we're not getting anywhere. So what starts to happen? Oh, we get frustrated, we get disappointed, we get aggravated. Then what happens? We lower our vibrational frequency. And then what happens? We solidify the attachment. So the survival mindset is great for 3D things, but it is not great for spiritual things. In addition, the survival mindset is not very good for happiness. If you notice, if you're constantly trying to solve the next problem, the next way you can die, you're not going to have a great life. This is why the news is such a popular show. I call it the How I Can Die show. You tune into the news to say, oh, well, what are all the ways I could die now? And what do you find? Oh, there's a hurricane. Oh, there's a disease. Oh, there's a fire. There's a murderer. There's et cetera, et cetera. It's always about all the ways that you can die. Since we tune in so well to that, we also the 3D mind starts churning. Well, in order to not die in a fire, I should do this, this, and that. Oh, in order to not die from a murderer, I need to bring this or have this with me or take a course in survival combat, whatever. So you put this mind to use, constantly trying to solve problems that are actually not available or not actually a problem at that time. So now we churn and churn some more. So we're in this state of never being at peace. If we had childhood traumas, then we're in a I'm not safe and I need to do something to make myself safe. This perpetuates through your entire life. So no matter how old you are, if you didn't resolve those childhood traumas, you are still in the survival mindset trying to get through and trying to survive every second of every day. Because to you, your death is imminent. And you might not even know that consciously. That can be happening for sure at a subconscious level. So what I'd like to do for this particular video and this particular survival-based mindset is to step you out of it. How can we step you out of that? Well, I think that the best way is to change to a different perspective. And the other perspective that I would love to change you to is in another video, the higher self perspective. So I would definitely recommend watching that, which I've already pre-recorded. You can check it out and go through an activation to help you move from the survival mindset into the higher self mindset. So I'm excited for you to check that out. And I would also recommend that you could download a free activation off of my website. I'll leave a link in the description below that helps you overcome an emotion. In this case, nervousness. Emotions are a huge part of our experience, especially in the survival mindset. Nervousness is an extension of fear. It's a different type of fear. So if you listen to this activation while you're nervous, then you're going to find immediate relief, which is kind of amazing if you think about it. So definitely download that for free. I appreciate that you've been watching this, that you've liked and that you've subscribed, and you tell other people about all the things that I'm here to do, and that is to help as many people as possible. I love you unconditionally, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.